Disney and Pixar love sneaking familiar faces into their movies. Here are some of the best hidden character cameos you probably never noticed.
20.
While Bonnie was making Forky, a girl in the background wore a lilac outfit. It was easy to miss, but that girl looked just like Boo from Monsters, Inc. If that's really her, it means Boo and Bonnie went to the same kindergarten, linking both movies in the same world. But Boo didn't just appear once. Later, at the carnival, a little girl tried to win a prize at a booth. When she looked at the employee, it was clear she was the same girl from Bonnie's class. Boo showed up twice, hiding in plain sight.
19.
The emotional goodbye scene in Monsters, Inc. was filled with hidden details. In Boo's room, Jessie from Toy Story sat on her tea table, showing she had been playing with the cowgirl before meeting Sully. In an innocent gesture, Boo even handed Jessie to Sully, wanting him to join in. The famous Pixar ball also made an appearance. Another toy Boo unknowingly gave to Sully. But the biggest surprise was a rubber Nemo toy. Finding Nemo hadn't even been released yet, meaning Pixar was already working on it when Monsters, Inc. came out. In Brave, a surprising Easter egg hid in plain sight. When Merida visited the woodcarver's cottage, who was actually a disguised witch, one of the wooden carvings in the shop looked very familiar. It was none other than Olaile Monsters, Inc. sunk. The carving was so detailed, it almost seemed like the artist had met Sully in person. Of course, that's just a theory, but Pixar loves connecting its films in unexpected ways.
17.
Dentist waiting room scene in Finding Nemo. A boy sat reading a magazine while waiting for his turn. If you look closely, the cover featured none other than Mr. Incredible. Specifically, his old-school design from The Incredibles. Since The Incredibles hadn't been released yet, this was Pixar's way of sneaking in a preview of their next superhero adventure. The boy was probably enjoying a classic comic about Pixar's own legendary hero.
16.
Finding Dory, a school field trip at the Marine Life Institute, revealed a familiar face, Riley herself. If that wasn't convincing enough, a boy in the same scene wore the exact '86 shirt seen in Inside Out. Since Dory's journey led her to California, near Riley's hometown, it all lines up perfectly, but that wasn't her only appearance. In Turning Red, when May runs through her school as a giant red panda, she accidentally knocks over a girl. Take a closer look. That girl looks just like Riley. Birds can travel far.
15.
And apparently, so can animated ones. The same bird, seen in Turning Red, which takes place in Canada, also made an appearance in Dug Days, the series about Carl's loyal dog from Up, who lives in the United States. It showed up in the episode where Doug had his usual battles with a squirrel, a small but fun way for Disney to connect its worlds.
14.
Hid a cool musical reference in plain sight. The boy May had a huge crush on wore a shirt that said Scapula. Coincidence? Not at all. That's the same name as the metal band that performed in Coco's Land of the Dead.
13.
Just can't resist sneaking Toy Story references in Coco. As Miguel rushed through the fair in his town, he passed by a street where several dolls were hanging for sale. If you pause at the right moment, you'll spot plush versions of Buzz Lightyear and Woody. Toy Story's notorious troublemaker Sid has also been referenced in Coco. During the Land of the Dead's big musical competition, an emo-looking skeleton played multiple instruments at once. If you look closely, he wore a shirt with a skull on it, the exact same design as Sid from Toy Story. Some fans even theorized this meant Sid had passed away and ended up in the afterlife. But since he briefly appeared in Toy Story 3, it's likely just a fun Easter egg.
12.
Hero 6 didn't just bring us Baymax, it also threw in a little payback for Frozen's Prince Hans. In one scene, a statue of Hans stood proudly, only to be completely destroyed by Baymax. Considering what he did to Anna, it almost felt personal. But that wasn't his only cameo. Inside a police station, a wanted poster on the wall showed Hans's face, hinting that he might have gotten into trouble outside of Arendelle. Whether it was an inside joke or a crossover connection, one thing's for sure, Hans didn't get away with it this time.
11.
Luca, a Disney icon, quietly made his way into the story. When Luca and Julia were in her room, a small but familiar figure sat at the foot of her bed. Donald Duck, dressed in his classic blue sailor outfit and beret. The doll was a subtle nod to one of Disney's most beloved characters. It was a quick moment, easy to miss, but a fun Easter egg for sharp-eyed fans.
10.
During Elsa's coronation in Frozen, two unexpected guests made a quick but exciting appearance. Rapunzel and Flynn Rider from Tangled. As the crowd gathered, Rapunzel, with her short brown hair, walked beside Flynn, making it clear that the couple had traveled to Arendelle. Since Rapunzel is royalty herself, it made perfect sense for her to attend a major event in another kingdom. possibly strengthening ties between Arendelle and Corona. While some might think it was just a coincidence, Disney rarely leaves details like this to chance.
9.
This movie, a familiar orange feline makes a sneaky appearance. Garfield. At one point, a Garfield doll could be spotted. A fun nod to the lasagna-loving cat who hates Mondays. With his own animated movie arriving in 2024, it would have been even better to see him in action, maybe teaming up with Crypto and the gang. Maybe next time, he'll ditch the couch and join the fight for real.
8.
Illumination loves hiding secrets in its movies, and Despicable Me had a great one. In the first film, Margot, one of Gru's adopted daughters, wore a t-shirt featuring none other than the Lorax. What makes this even cooler? The Lorax movie hadn't even been released yet. It came out 2 years later. This means Illumination was already working on it and used Despicable Me to drop a sneaky hint about their next big project.
7.
Lilo and Stitch, a blink and you miss it detail, connected the film to a Disney classic. When Lilo ran to the window to see what she thought was a shooting star, a small, plush Dumbo sat in the corner of the frame. The flying elephant, one of Disney's most beloved characters from its early films, made a perfect historical reference.
6.
Chip and Dale. Rescue Rangers was packed with Disney references, but some were easier to miss. In the evidence room scene, where the duo investigated missing animations, a familiar toy was spotted on a shelf, none other than Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head. Since the pieces weren't fully assembled, it was hard to tell which one, but it was definitely a nod to Toy Story. Another hidden detail was Jiminy Cricket's iconic top hat. The little conscience from Pinocchio may not have been present, but his hat served as a fun reminder of Disney's classic films. By now, we know that Disney loves paying tribute to its classics,
5.
and Moana was no exception. During Maui's flashy musical number, You're Welcome, one of the fish that briefly appeared was none other than Flounder from The Little Mermaid. It was a fitting cameo. After all, mermaids and demigods both rule the ocean. Plus, Moana was directed by Ron Clements and John Musker, the same duo behind The Little Mermaid, making it an extra special tribute to Ariel's undersea world.
4.
The Aladdin animators had fun sneaking in characters from other Disney classics. When the genie flips through his magic manual, he suddenly gets pinched by none other than Sebastian, the crab from The Little Mermaid. And even before Sebastian appears, the genie briefly transforms into Pinocchio. This wasn't just for fun. It was a clever jab at Aladdin's lies, referencing how Pinocchio's nose grows whenever he's dishonest. Genie isn't the only Disney character with shape-shifting skills.
3.
Maui has them, too. After reclaiming his magical fishhook from Tamatoa, he cycles through different animal transformations. One of them, Sven, Kristoff's lovable reindeer from Frozen. It was a quick, but unmistakable crossover, showing that Disney loves connecting its animated worlds in fun and unexpected ways.
2.
In Soul, Joe gets a haircut. And while his barber talks about his daughter, a photo in the background reveals an interesting detail. The little girl in the picture is holding a bunny plush, one that looks exactly like the mischievous carnival prize from Toy Story 4.
1.
One of Mr. Incredible's old foes, Bomb Voyage, was last seen robbing a bank in The Incredibles. But years later, in Ratatouille, the French villain seems to have left his criminal past behind. He's spotted working as a mime, while Linguini and Colette skate through the streets of Paris. Has he truly turned over a new leaf? Or does he have a twin brother? And there you have it, some of the coolest hidden character appearances in Disney and Pixar movies. These Easter eggs prove that the animators love sneaking in fun surprises for sharp-eyed fans. Did we miss any of your favorite cameos? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more awesome content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next